Welcome to the Duck Dive. Today we're dissecting a really fascinating high-stakes situation. It's all playing out in the world of professional football transfers. We're going to unpack the whole saga around striker Viktor Gyokeres and his potential move to Arsenal. We've looked at the sources you sent over, and, well, our mission is to cut through the noise, find those crucial insights, and give you a shortcut to understanding all the moving parts.
This has been a saga throughout this transfer window. Arsenal's pursuit of a striker, and in particular, in the past couple of weeks, the Sporting striker Viktor Gyokeres. There's been all sorts of unsavouriness, if you like, between Sporting and the player himself. He hasn't returned to training. The Sporting president has been very disappointed with Gyokeres' actions. He says if whoever is masterminding this thinks this is going to change my mind about his future, then they're sadly mistaken. But we do believe that there has now been a breakthrough between Arsenal and Sporting over the signing of Viktor Gyokeres. We understand a deal has been agreed in principle whereby Arsenal will pay an initial £55 million plus performance-related add-ons, which we think will add up to around £9 million. So the total deal looks like it is around £64 million to get Viktor Gyokeres from Sporting Lisbon to Arsenal and potentially end this long search that Arsenal have had to bring in a striker to the Emirates. It looks like this one is going to happen. We were suspecting that it would be the case, and there was a lot of posturing from both sides. It should be said Arsenal have been pretty relaxed about the situation. They've looked on and seen the issues that Sporting and Gyokeres have had. Gyokeres believed that he might have had a gentleman's agreement to be able to be sold for a certain price below £60 million. The Sporting president has said, no, that is not the case. He's a Sporting player, and if it doesn't materialise this move, then it's good for us for the next 3 years, the remainder of Gyokeres' contract. But it looks like there has been a breakthrough now, and it looks all the money that the direction of travel is that Viktor Gyokeres will become an Arsenal player. This is turning into some window for Arsenal, isn't it? They brought in Kepa, the number 2 goalkeeper now in competition for David Raya. Martin Zubimendi has joined from Real Sociedad. Christian Norgard has joined from Brentford. Noni Madueke is on the verge of joining from Chelsea. The Viktor Gyokeres deal looks like it is getting very close. And add to that, they're still looking at a centre-half, Valencia's Christian Mosquera. And it hasn't been ruled out that Eberiche Eze could yet become an Arsenal player as well. So busy times at Arsenal, but it looks like the hunt for a striker is coming to an end.
Exciting times for Arsenal fans, Dominic.
Yeah, it's a brilliant example, isn't it, of that really complex dance you get in elite football.
Right.
And what's truly gripping here, I think, is that it's not just, a player's changing teams. It's more about the raw power dynamics.
Exactly.
You've got player ambition, the close valuation, huge financial pressure. It all just collides. We're really going to explore what happens when, millions are on the line, and careers too.
Okay, so let's dive right in then. Arsenal's position first, because they seem to be really driving this, don't they?
They do seem very keen.
The sources are indicating Arsenal are reportedly closing in. They've put an offer out, apparently, worth around $63.5 million to Sporting Lisbon. And that includes add-ons.
Right.
It feels like they've really made him a top priority. Especially, after maybe missing out on some other targets. They clearly want this guy.
And that figure, the $62.5 million with the add-ons, it says a lot about Arsenal's determination. It's also quite a smart financial approach.
How so?
Well, it's not just a flat fee, right? Add-ons mean they're willing to pay more if certain things happen. Maybe Gyokeres hits a certain goal tally, or perhaps Arsenal qualifies for the Champions League again.
Ah, okay. So it shares the risk.
Exactly. Sporting could potentially get more money down the line, but Arsenal only pays that extra bit if the player, delivers or the team succeeds.
Right.
And when a club labels a player a top priority, it means, they see him as the absolute perfect fit, the one they need for a key role.
Right.
And they're ready to throw significant resources, a lot of negotiating time and effort into getting him above anyone else.
Okay, so Arsenal's pushing. But Gyokeres himself, wow. He's not exactly sitting by the phone waiting patiently, is he?
No, definitely not.
What's really striking is his, frankly, bold decision to refuse to report preseason training, which, according to the sources, has already landed him fines and disciplinary threats from Sporting. That's a pretty aggressive tactic.
It's huge. Refusing preseason, that's like the nuclear option for a player.
Really?
Yeah. Forget the fines for a second. It signals a complete breakdown in commitment, it creates this massive headache for the club.
I bet.
Because an unhappy player, one who clearly doesn't want to be there, can disrupt the whole team dynamic. Bad press follows. It can even affect performance on the pitch.
So it puts pressure on the club to just sort it out.
Exactly. It can make them more desperate to offload the player, maybe even compromise a bit on their asking price just to resolve the situation.
And there was our other detail about his agent.
Ah, yes, that's fascinating too. The sources mentioned his agent apparently waived commission to help things along.
Which is unusual.
Very. Agents work on commission, that's their bread and butter. So for one to waive it, it could signal, well, maybe extreme pressure from the player himself. Or maybe the agent just has this extraordinary belief that this move is the absolute best thing for the player's long-term career.
Or just trying to force the deal through faster.
Could be that too. Sort of power play. It's rare though, and it just underlines how committed, maybe even desperate, the player's side is to make this happen.
That agent detail.
Yeah.
That really stands out. So you've got Arsenal pushing financially, Gyokeres pushing behaviorally, and then you have Sporting Lisbon and their president, Frederico Varandas, who seems to be, well, digging his heels in just as hard. He sounds incredibly firm.
Very much so. Sporting's stance is crystal clear, and they've said it publicly. Varandas has basically insisted Gyokeres won't leave for a penny less than their valuation.
Which is linked to that release clause.
Yeah, exactly. He's specifically pointing to the player's 100 million release clause.
Can you just quickly explain what that means for anyone maybe unsure?
Sure. A release clause is basically a fixed price written into the player's contract. If another club comes along and bids that exact amount, the 100 million in this case, Sporting has to let Gyokeres talk to them.
Ah, okay. It bypasses negotiation.
Pretty much. It's meant to protect the selling club, give them a guaranteed high price for a top asset. But it also gives the player a clear exit route if someone meets the magic number.
And Varandas is saying nothing less than that number counts.
That's the public line. He's also flatly denied any kind of prior, maybe verbal, agreement to let Gyokeres go for less. They see him as absolutely key, central to their plans.
And they can't be happy about the training situation?
No, clearly displeased. They've reinforced their position with that statement, no one is bigger than the club. It's a very, very public clash of wills right now.
So, where does this actually leave things? You've got all these forces pushing and pulling, Sporting holding firm on that huge release clause figure, Arsenal offering quite a bit less, albeit a lot of money, the player basically on strike. What's the outlook? Is a deal actually close?
Well, despite Sporting's very firm public stance, the sources seem to suggest that a final agreement does feel close.
Really? Even with that gap?
It seems so. If they can iron out those last few details, the pressure is clearly immense on all sides to find a resolution. There's a real sense of urgency.
Okay.
The sources even mention a specific timeline being possible, suggesting an official announcement could potentially come quite soon, maybe even before Arsenal's next preseason game.
Wow. So it could move fast now.
It could, which just highlights the stakes, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Everyone needs this resolved quickly now before the season really gets going. It impacts preparations, morale, everything.
So as we sort of wrap up this deep dive then, this whole saga, it really shines a light on more than just one transfer deal, doesn't it?